My name is Dak. Today I'm going to be playing another Blitz game. I'm going to try and do commentary in the meantime, but I'm going to probably be thinking too much, but I'm going to try and think out loud as I do this. Blitz game 3 plus 2, 3 minutes on the clock for each player. Get 2 seconds added per turn you take. Let's do it. Let's see how it goes. Okay, I'm the white side. The black side, it's my turn to go first. I'm going to go do my Pontiani. Start with an E2. Hopefully do Pontiani, seeing what type of response we get. Okay, there's the pawn out. Bring my knight. Most likely see the knight come here. Yep. Now the Pontiani is not the most computer-friendly move, but it's what I learned from Gotham Chess and Eric Rosen. Alright, so they moved the pawn up here, which is not the best move, so I'm going to push right here. Now, I don't know all the things specifically what I'm supposed to do in each case, but we'll try and put it together as we do it. There's some nasty traps depending on where they move. Okay, I think what I do next is move the bishop. Expect a block or a block. Either the pawn's coming down or the bishop's coming over. Alright, bishop. So now I think I move the queen. So if the bishop takes, I can take the bishop. The bishop's pinned, can't move out of the way. Alright, pawn comes. If I take with the pawn, takes. Don't, this extra knight is blocking the way. Yeah, I don't see it. So he's thinking 2 minutes. I've got some time advantage here, but not a ton. I'm guessing they're either gonna try and move out, they're gonna try and do something. Probably not happy with their pawn structure. I'm not too pleased about mine either. So if I kill, he kills. But if I don't take, then it's a fork. Let's just castle. Safe. I imagine takes. Yeah. But he doesn't realize that the knight's going to come take my bishop, but then I'm going to take the knight. Maybe they see it. Maybe they're planning some sort of other trap. Something I don't see. They're thinking about it. What I want to do is I want to develop, get my bishop out, get my knight out, center my rooks. Okay. Alright, so this rook is coming down, putting pressure here. I want to just take this pawn. It's a hanging pawn. Yeah, because then it puts pressure away. I've lost my bishop, but now can put pressure here. The knight's not stuck anymore. The bishop is not stuck anymore. What move down here, protect the knight a little bit. What's it gonna do? Really running, now it's a huge time advantage. 30 seconds, 35, 34, 3, 2. Spending a lot of time thinking. It has an advantage right now. Okay. So if I take here, that knight can take as well. Doesn't leave it as open as I'd like it to be. So what I want to do is put pressure on the pinned piece. So let's go here and add some pressure. And then maybe we'll move. Okay, so now it's blocked there by the knight. Can't move this one here because it'll be right for taking. Let's put pressure on this knight. Bring a pawn down on 10 seconds. Yeah, it might win on time here. Five, 4. Offering a queen trade. Do I want to take the queen trade? Yeah, why not? Okay. So let's take here. Yeah, and then we'll protect the rook, put some pressure on time, so even if he takes, I take a knight as well. Interesting, putting pressure there can do some different things, but let's just go here. 3, 2, 1, time. Okay, looking for a back row checkmate right here. That's what he wants to do, because I'm very, very low on time, so I'm just gonna... I'm also trying to trick him because he doesn't know when I'm gonna go, so I'll go up. 2, 1. Should have pre-moved. So black timed out, white is victorious. So I won that on time. I had a little bit of an advantage, but still a very playable game. I mean, I was +5, but could have done stuff, spent a little too much time thinking. All right, so let's go to the analysis. This is where you really learn. All right, so I've checked the button to tell us what the computer would want to do in each space. So I went up E5, and this is the, you probably already know, the computer will tell us who has the advantage. Right now, white has a little bit of advantage. Pawn out. Next, they're telling me bring my knight, which is what I did. They do their knight. That's what I expected. Now, they're looking to play this type of game where you bring the bishop out. That is not my game. I much prefer the Ponziani. That's my opening. Now, they want to go 2 spaces up. That's the best move. Instead, they bring the knight. Now, the computer is recognizing the Ponziani. I go up 2. The knight could come down and take this pawn. That's the computer's top move, but instead they choose to go up with a pawn. So I disagree on the computer here. From my understanding, I'm supposed to move the pawn up, but the computer wants this bishop to come up here. So again, I'm starting to see more and more of an advantage. I come put pressure on the knight moves out of the way. Interesting, computer's saying to move the queen. This is where I move the, now I move the bishop up, put a check on the king. The bishop comes out. I'm supposed to move the bishop back, but instead I block it with the queen, adding pressure. Pawn comes down, I take, and this is, I have to retreat at this point, because if I were to take and then the bishop comes down, you would think, oh, there's a great chance to get a fork. This queen comes in, takes the bishop, I'm putting a check on the king, and then the king, so let's just do it. Let's see what happens. So if I take here, here, and then it's like, oh, your queen could come here. No, this knight is in the way. This knight is preventing you from having that really nice king-bishop fork. because the only real way, if this knight had not been here, then the queen would have to come up to protect, and then you can take, and it's just beautiful. But that's not what happened here. So instead, let's see, I took pawn, and then I came down. They are supposed to take the knight around, but instead they push the pawn. Pawn comes down. I guess, oh, I should have taken, so this is a hanging pawn right here, which I probably could have taken, but instead I decided to castle. Don't remember how much time I spent on that, but I was just trying to play it safe. Castling would have been smart right there. Instead they take, creating a fork. And again, I take with the bishop, exchanging the pawns. Now the computer says it's a good idea to take with the knight, and that's what I thought they were going to do. Take with the knight, and then I would take with the queen. But instead they move the rook over, which I think, yeah, look at the computer. The computer goes from a little bit of a black advantage to a significant white advantage. So if you're not seeing that, right here, go back a move. Right now it's black advantage. They move the rook over in a huge white advantage. Now again, I played the wrong move. I should have taken that pawn with the knight. Instead, I take with the queen, which apparently huge disadvantage. Now black, I mean, it swings the other way. This is what happens when you have two beginners, two novice players like us playing. This is what happens when you're 1200 rated chess. So the knight comes down, takes the bishop. Oof. Black is in control now. And I finally see the pawn hanging. Should have taken it a couple moves ago, should have taken it the previous move, but now I finally see it. Ooh, knight should have come down, or bishop. Computer wants the bishop to come down to the f5 square. That's the best move. That's what I thought, to support the knight. But instead they retreat with the knight. Now the computer sees first to take the bishop, but also is also thinking the rook. And I went with the rook as well. It's the 4 piece. Put pressure on the pinned piece. So right now this bishop can't really move out of the way because, you know, this is now pinned, because otherwise it would be losing a queen. So always put pressure on the pinned piece. And there's 3 different attacks coming. You got the knight, you got the queen, and you got the rook coming. At this point, my opponent was running low on time. Brings the knight down. I should have pushed the pawn according to the computer. Instead, I come up with the bishop, put pressure on the knight. Rook moves over. Yeah, I guess that's true. If I had taken with the bishop, I could have lost my queen, taken their queen. I don't see how the advantage is there, because then they could take with the king. Oh, and then there's a 4. Oh, that's beautiful. If they take with the king, then the knight would come here, take this pawn. So let's play that out so you can see it. So let's see, bishop takes, and then the idea being maybe the rook takes the queen. Oh, that would be beautiful. Thank you very much. Because then my bishop takes your queen, and a novice player might be like, oh, great, I'm going to move my king over and take this bishop, free bishop. Oh, wait, no. You just set yourself up for a mighty fork. Oh, king is in check. Move. Boom. There's your advantage. Okay, I see. Well, there's also several moves out of that, not necessarily what someone would have done, but one of the ideas. So coming back all the way here, knight comes down, put pressure, rook moved over. I moved my queen over. I was more concerned about protecting my queen than seeing the whole different moves. But again, regardless, there's a couple things. Even if I had taken this knight, they might have taken it. There's a number of things that might have happened. But again, this is a blitz game, so they're running slow on time, so I'm kind of waiting for the advantage. And still, right now, that move, black has a huge advantage. Black is significantly winning. Such low on time that, right here they've got 23 seconds, and then I used 13 of it just to move the rook over. I took 6 seconds to move down. Huge time crush, and then they take 5 seconds to do a queen trade. Now, the best move, if I had spent a little more time, take the rook, put the king into check. I mean, it's just a hanging rook. Even though there's an offer of the sacrifice, I didn't have to take it. But I spent 7 seconds, I lost it. But at this point, I'm not worried. I'm ahead on time, and I know that I've got a lot of advantages. I'm willing to trade the bishops. If the pawn comes down takes, I can take here because my rook is protecting it. Yep, so takes. Instead, I take with the rook, yeah. And I'm like, oh, maybe it's protected by the knight, so if you take the knight, I'll take your knight. Again, I'm kind of just fighting. I'm just playing time. There's huge swings. We're making lots of errors here. Neither one of us is playing a great game. But right now, that was not a good move according to the computer. So to come back here, I choose to bring my rook up. But right now I have a huge advantage, but then boom, that rook, huge disadvantage. Knight goes, brings my advantage back. Take. Rook comes down. Now this is the scariest part. This is what he was banking on. He's got 2 seconds left, barely had time to get a move off. But if I were not to play anything, if I were to just do something silly, let's say like come here, all of a sudden, boom, Black has the advantage. Why? Because it's one move back row checkmate. And so that's what I was watching out for. Now, could have moved my knight out, developed, and used my rook to protect, but instead I just simply decided to move a pawn up. That pawn up gives me an escape route in case this rook tries to come down, and he didn't have time. So let's say if he had, though, I'd come here, here, and then it would have been his turn. Smart would have been to take there, and I would have, I might have taken the pawn, not seeing it, but the best move, obviously, is to come here, and king moves out of the way, take a rook. Oh, would have been great. But I mean, and so we're in a fight. I would have had 2 rooks and stuff, but again, winning on time is still winning. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed this game. Hope to do more games. Take care. See you later.